All right, hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Nick, talking to Fair Sports. If you missed the previous videotaping that I just did, it was with Anthony Miller, writer on XFLboard.com. And now we're going to be moving our focus over towards talking to Rachael Oranje. I hope I'm saying her name right. Rachael Oranje. She is a inside reporter for the Houston Roughnecks. Again, if you are watching this on Talking Interference Sports, I'm doing the raw videos now over here and then doing the edited versions over on GCSN, sending it over there. That's why we got the green screen. So I'm going to be trying to tweak with that and try to learn how to do some editing. Obviously, there's going to be some issues here. I'm going to be working on that here. But I'm going to be talking to Rachael Oranje here in a second. But if you guys are watching us on Talking Interference Sports, go check out Game Changer Sports Network. If you're watching us on Game Changer Sports Network, go check out Talking Interference Sports. If you're going to a sporting event or you are going to a concert or anything that you need to buy a ticket for, use promo code GCSN. Get $20 off your purchase. I don't think I really have anything else to plug at this moment. So we'll just go ahead and give Rachael a call here real quick, and we'll get this going. Give me 1 second.
Leave a message and don't be boring.
Oh, don't be boring.
At the tone.
Don't be boring, guys. Don't be boring. Just give me a second. This is why we do the editing later. So anyway, Rachael is a ESPN radio analyst over in Houston. She covers the Roughnecks. And then she also is a sports columnist for Houston Sports Show. And she does her own work over there. We'll have a conversation with her about that here in a second. Just give me 1 second. Let me see if I can't get this figured out here. So, anyway, do you think the Astros were the best team I don't want to have that conversation, bro. I'll go ahead and say it here. I'm absolutely disgusted with the way that the Astros organization handled their statements today. I'm absolutely appalled that an owner would come out here and say, oh, well, you caught us cheating, but we were still the best team. And it didn't really affect the game when literally these guys are getting a civil lawsuit against them because they've ruined a guy's career. But it didn't affect the game. There was no point at all in this cheating of a year and a half where these guys actually affected the game. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm still trying to get a hold of Rachael, but the fact that the owner would come out and act like nothing was a big deal, really? You just sat here for a season and a half and cheated? Do you think they would still win? I think they would definitely be competing. I think that there would be some question marks of whether or not they had won a couple. Would you give the Dodgers the World Series? No, I wouldn't give the Dodgers the World Series. As it goes down in the record, the Houston Astros won the World Series, and there's no speculation of who won or who. Oh, here's Rachel. All right. Hello.
Hey, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm sorry. I just saw your text message. My phone didn't even ring. I'm sitting right by it.
Oh,
Weird.
no worries. It's not a big deal. I'm glad that I got you now. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to have a conversation with me.
Absolutely.
So you're on the radio in Houston with ESPN?
Yeah, I do. On the weekends, I do a show in the mornings called the Houston Sports Show on ESPN 97.5 here in Houston. And then on Sunday nights, I co-host a TV show. It's kind of a spinoff of the daytime radio show. It's also called the Houston Sports Show, and it's on the NBC affiliate here in Houston. And then I cover the Roughnecks. I got an assignment from Roughnecks from SportsNap, which is an affiliate partner of ESPN Houston here. So I got to write some articles and do a podcast and cover the Roughnecks for them.
Awesome. So where can we find your work of the Roughnecks if we're not in Houston? That's the whole reason why we have Rachael on the show. If anybody's not aware, Rachael is covering the Roughnecks, and we were going to talk to her about what her thoughts on specific things going on in Houston out there. So where can people find your work out there?
Yeah, so specifically for the Roughnecks, my articles are going to be on sportsnap.com, sportsnap.com, all one word. And then also you can follow me on Twitter. I post everything I do, literally everything on Twitter. My handle on there is @GameDayOJ.
Awesome. So I reached out to you just because I saw how active you were in the XFL Twitter community. So I thought it would be awesome to get a Houston perspective on things that are going on. And basically, I just wanted to know what your thoughts were with what was going on in the XFL just in general. So we're almost to game 2. What was your opinion on how the XFL Week 1 turned out? Was there anything that stood out most to you?
Just right off the top of my head, one of the things that just caught me off guard and was really, really exciting to me was just the excitement on game day. It was like a vibe that you could just feel. It was like something that was almost tangible in the air. And I know that it wasn't just here in Houston. I know that it was everywhere because everybody has been raving about the crowd atmosphere and just how many people showed up for this. I do think, at least in my opinion and other people that I spoke to, expectations were kind of low for the initial turnout. We kind of thought that it might build up through the season if people saw that the product on the field was a lot better this time around than it was the first time around back in, early 2001. And just kind of building up a name for itself. We thought it would get better, but I mean, I was so surprised to see, 17,000 plus people showing up to multiple stadiums. And I got to tell you, I love the city of Houston. I was born and raised here. A little biased towards it, but Houston is not a good sports town from the perspective of people don't really show up to games here, especially not on time. It's just, I don't know, the Houston Rockets, they have 2 MVPs on the team, and you watch a nationally broadcasted game, and the lower bowl is almost 50% empty. Texans fans don't show up to games until after halftime. Astros, they win a World Series, whether they did it legit or not, but they win a World Series and they still can't get 2 million people in their stadium in 1 year. So it's kind of a very complacent sports town here, and I could not believe how packed TDECU Stadium was. I went to the University of Houston in college, and I mean their football games don't even get that packed or that lit. So I mean, just off the top of my head, that was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I was curious, you were at the first game at the home game, right?
Yes.
So how did you feel about the attendance and how the crowd was? I know you're saying that you're surprised that that many people showed up because of the history that you just explained. But I mean, it seemed like everybody showed out in Houston, and I think if I'm not mistaken, they were like within the top 3 of the most attendance in the league.
Yeah, I think I saw that somewhere too. I don't know if it was somebody's tweet or my news feed or what it was, but I know that there was over 17,000 people at TDECU that day, and like I was saying before, I went to the University of Houston, and like I was going to school there during the Tom Herman era when they were beating Oklahoma and number 3 ranked Oklahoma and number 4 Louisville on the same season. Like I went to school there, I went to all the home games, and I'm telling you that Roughnecks crowd was more rowdy and more lit and just having way more fun than any U of H game I've ever been to. It was crazy, and I don't even think that I was talking to this guy named Jay Lucas. He's a really nice guy. He's like the PR director, handles all the like media relations for the Roughnecks. I talked to him a lot, and he was telling me that they literally did not expect that many people there. I was up in the press box. They didn't even cater enough food for every seat in that press box was completely taken. And it's kind of funny. So I got there, I got held up in some traffic here, and so I got there like maybe halfway through the first quarter, and I'm walking through the stadium, walking up to the press box, and I'm hearing the crowd go crazy, and it's so loud, and I got like goosebumps on my arms, and I literally thought to myself, there's no way in hell that there are that many people at the first Roughnecks game ever. They're definitely pumping sound in. And sure enough, they were not. Like, that was legit. People were dancing. They were just, I don't know. It was really cool. And it was really, really encouraging because I couldn't have even dreamed of a better turnout.
No, that's wild. I'm shocked, me personally, just how much the attendance. So I'm covering the Dragons. I'm absolutely shocked. Seattle fans are crazy just in general, but I'm shocked that this new team just got here and they're already opening up the second level of the bowl for people later on. So this whole let's wait 2 years to get this thing built up was a fantastic move for the XFL.
Yeah, I've had so many people, since I've been covering the Roughnecks and training camp, so many people have asked me, basically in a nutshell, why should I care? Or why is this one better than the previous one? Why should I spend my money or my time or my emotions, making the emotional investment, getting into the Roughnecks or just getting into the XFL in general? And I told everybody coming into it, I was like, you know what? I was a really, really young girl in 2001 when they tried this the first time, and I honestly don't remember it that well. I do remember names like He Hate Me, and I remember I remember it feeling very theatrical. I felt like it wasn't really about the gameplay. It was more like a wrestling match, And I told everybody, I really, truly feel, just based on the way they've dealt with me, their PR people have dealt with me as a member of the media, the way I saw them advertising, the attention to detail, and the emphasis on having a really good game on the field. And it's almost like Jim McMahon, it's like he sat back all these years, right, and he just watched the NFL. And, everything that people have bitched about, on Twitter, on social media, on the news, the talking heads, everything that the NFL did wrong, with, the referees on the field, taking away the integrity of the game, or whether it comes to controversies like kneeling on the field and the divisiveness of that. It's like he just sat back and saw everything that the NFL did wrong and said, okay, so they're taking notes, and you know what, I'm going to be the exact opposite. I'm going to do everything right that they do wrong. And I just feel like there's just so much effort put into this, especially, we just had to deal with the AAF, right? And it was horrible. It was horrible. But everything I saw them doing in the XFL was just night and day better. And so I just told everybody, I was like, I have a really good feeling about this. I really do feel like this is going to succeed. I didn't know it was going to be this good from the jump. But I definitely have the faith in it. And I told everybody, I feel like it's worth my personal emotional investment in it because I genuinely feel like it's going to be successful. And geez, after week one, I feel even better about that.
Right. No, the fact that I mean, just me even personally, and I agree with you, is the amount of time that I've gone to try and make sure that I've tried to push out as much information as I have. Even the guys in the PR and the MR, like the media relations and the public relations for these teams, have done nothing but try to give you, all of the information that they can give you. And it's actually really fantastic.
Yeah, they are. They're working their butts off for sure. And I know that they all feel all of them. It's weird. It's almost like a father-son relationship. Like all the higher ups, at least with the Roughnecks, I hear them refer to the big boss man all the time. They're talking about Vince McMahon. Like he's that close to it. You know what I mean? Like he's not sitting far away in an office far away and has a bunch of dudes, underneath him. And like he's hands on. He's in this. He is putting his own money into this. Like it's just, I don't know, it blows my mind how much these people really, really care, and they're doing a great job.
Well, the hashtag for the love of football actually means something here, I guess, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I like that.
So they released this week that the championship game will be held at TDECU Stadium.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So what's the vibe that you're getting from there when this news got released? That's a mouthful, TDECU.
Yeah, that's funny because I was just on another podcast yesterday with a guy that's out in LA, and he was talking about the 5-letter acronym, and he was like, "That's so ridiculous." And I was like, you know what? It's been our stadium for so long that I'm so used to it that I don't realize how ridiculous it really is. They should consider changing it.
That's like a drunk phonetic alphabet.
Yeah, for real. It's a credit union if that helps at all. So I'm sure the T stands for Texas and the CU stands for credit unions. Maybe they should say TDE Credit Union. I don't know. They need to fix it. But yeah, they are doing championship game here. That was news to me. And so I was actually out at Roughnecks practice yesterday, and I was talking to Coach Jim Jones, and I just straight up asked him, I was like, okay, so the news dropped. I don't think they've officially said it yet. This was yesterday. But we know now it's going to be TDCU, I think, April 26th. And I said, first of all, is that news to you? And he was like, yeah, we had no idea. He was like, they've done a really good job of keeping that a secret from all of us because we literally had no idea. Like, I wouldn't hide that from you. We didn't know. I was like, okay. I was like, second of all, 2 p.m. What the hell? What are we doing at 2 p.m.? And so for you, you're what, West Coast time, right? So that's 12 your time?
Yeah.
That's crazy. How do you feel? I don't know. Am I allowed to ask a question? How do you feel about that?
Oh, yeah. This is just an open conversation. I just have written down questions for you. But, yeah, you can ask me whatever. My thought process on it is this is going to be a fast game. And the fact that they're doing it early like that, it kind of makes me excited because now I can watch the game and my entirety of my day isn't going to be for quote unquote the XFL Super Bowl or the NFL Super Bowl, and I dedicate my entire day to that.
Right. That's a good point. So like as opposed to the Super Bowl where you wait all day for it, then it's a Sunday night, so it's late. The game ends at like 11 o'clock. Well, I guess it's not early. You're West Coast, so it's completely different for you. But like here, the Super Bowl ended at like 11:30, somewhere around there this year.
Yeah.
So, like everybody's gonna get work on Monday, right? So nobody can sit up and like get on Twitter about it, have arguments about it, watch all the TV shows afterwards. Everybody's gotta go sleep. They got school in the morning. They got work in the morning. You're actually right. That's a really good point that I hadn't thought about. That might be really good just from a
social media standpoint. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It definitely opens it definitely opens opportunity for them to be trending on specific media platforms.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. Changed my mind. But yeah, initially I was just thinking like, what the hell, 2 p.m.? That's not really like a prime time slot, like whenever it's the NFL playoffs, like everybody who has the midday slot, they always bitch, like, well, at least Texans fans do. They get their wild card matchup and they're like, they put us in a middle of the day slot again. The national media hates Houston, they hate the Texans, blah, blah. It's so dumb. But that's how they feel here. And, so that's what I was thinking. I was like, this is a midday spot. That's not a really good, that's not the highest ratings. You'd think you want it in the evening, but yeah, that's a good point.
So
June Jones, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah. So I was going to ask you, what did June Jones think about it and everything? Because I'm sorry, we got kind of sidetracked, and I just wanted to.
Yeah. True. I think to do that.
No, it's okay.
I asked him about it, and I said, is there any extra added, a little bit extra motivation there, to be the first XFL champions of this generation at least, and, to do it at home? And he was like, not really. This is how June Jones is, though. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't smile that much. There's not a whole lot of emotion or inflection in his voice. He's just always he's kind of like a Bill Belichick 2.0 in that sense, personality-wise. So you couldn't really get him excited about it. He was like, we're just going to keep focusing the way that we have been. He's like, it'll be nice if we can do it here in Houston, but no added motivation. I was like, all right, Coach, that's about what I expected you to say.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised by that. So PJ Walker sure shined this weekend as the XFL Star Player of the Week. What did you think about his performance, and was it because of a close matchup that he had, or what did you think about the close matchup that he had with Connor Cook while you were covering them during practices? Was it that close? Did Connor Cook actually maybe even come close to being the starter? Because PJ Walker just absolutely blew everybody's mind. And if Connor Cook is close to that, man, they got a crazy 1-2 quarterback situation.
Well, it's a really odd. It's very odd. So, as you know, they were assigned P.J. Walker initially as their quarterback, and then what do they do in the draft? Whenever they finally get to go draft players, they draft Connor Cook in the very first round. So they get assigned a quarterback, and then right after that they draft another quarterback. So from the jump, I was really confused about it, but I was like, okay. So then I'm in training camp, for the past month and a half or whatever it was, and I'm going to all these practices and I'm watching them, and they are literally splitting every single thing 50-50. And I can't get a word out of the coaches, can't get a word out of any of the players. All the players that I've talked to, especially the ones that I've become close with, that I'm like, hey, come on, throw me a little bone here, give me something. Like, who's going to be the starting quarterback? Every single one of them was like, I really don't know, and the coaches won't even tell us. And as you know, they didn't assign him, I think, until a week or a week and a half before Game 1 happened. They finally officially named PJ as their starter. But they're still, so I'm at practice yesterday, and they're still splitting reps 50-50. But everybody knows PJ is the starter now. That's official. But for some reason, they still split reps 50-50. But these two quarterbacks are so different. They're both very talented in their own respect. But Chris Miller, the offensive coordinator of the Roughnecks, I had to talk to him the other day, and it was right after they officially named PJ as the starter. And I said, what did PJ do in you guys' mind to win the starting role over Connor? And he told me, he goes, look, Connor's a big dude. He's accurate. He's a winner mentally. He's got leadership qualities, blah, blah, all that stuff. He goes, but at the end of the day, he goes, this new league and this new team put together, he goes, we believe that offensive lines are going to be a couple of steps behind the defensive line, at least early on. He goes, so because of P.J. Walker's, his versatility and his athleticism, his mobility with his legs, his ability to scramble and extend plays, and probably evade a few more sacks than Connor can, he goes, because of that reason, and mainly that reason only, that's why PJ is getting the starting role. And then you saw it in week 1, they only got, his offensive line protected him, but his legs also did a lot for him as well, because I believe the Wildcats only got 2 quarterback hits and 1 sack, and I think they were all by the same guy. It was, big old Sean Oakman. He's huge. You knew he was going to get something. But other than that, the protection was good, but PJ Walker also, he's just so damn athletic. And, he didn't get the hype that a lot of these quarterbacks did coming in. But, if you watched him at all at Temple, and I know probably most people aren't watching Temple games, but I went to the University of Houston. They're in our division. So, in our conference. So I did watch him a little bit, and, you had to know that the dude was talented. And I was hoping, and I know some other players were kind of like secretly hoping that he won starting role, and he did. And geez, I mean, he surpassed everyone's expectations. I think he had 4 touchdowns, 272 yards passing, and then he ran for I think 30 on the ground. He's just lights out. He's so damn good, and I'm so excited to see the progression of him as it goes on.
Yeah, so am I. I was absolutely blown away because when I found out, so I didn't know anything about PJ Walker. Didn't know anything about him. And so when I found out, so I know who Connor Cook is, but I didn't know who PJ Walker was. When I found out PJ Walker had beat out Connor Cook for the quarterback position, I was like, okay, well, you're going to have to show me why. And I even said that on my show. I was like, this guy's going to have to show me why because I don't know anything about him. I can't talk about him. I don't know anything about this guy. And damn, sure enough, he came out lights out and lit a fire under that offense and just led the team to just – and that's going to be one of my other questions. The Roughnecks did really well, but it seems like the LA Wildcats have – some serious issues. From what you've from what you've seen, do you think that the Roughnecks are doing really, really well, or do you think that the Wildcats are just having some serious issues?
Yeah, I have sat here and I've watched the game I think 3 different times and watched the highlights at least 7 different times. I'm sitting here trying to figure that out myself because coming into this game, I was told by everybody that the Wildcats had a really good defense, if not the best linebacking core in the entire league.
That's what I was hearing.
Yeah, and I was expecting so much more out of them, but they didn't do anything. I mean, and look, you should always know, if anybody knows anything about Gio Jones, in the past, win, lose, or draw, his offense was going to score points. That's what his version of the run and shoot does. That's what sending 4 wide receivers vertical down the field does, and a bunch of running backs that are also basically considered to be wideouts as well. They're going to put up points. But for the only person on their defense to really even touch PJ Walker, to be Sean Oakman, it really did blow my mind. And clearly they have some issues on that team. They have some drama on that team. Pepper got fired. Anthony Johnson, has that become official yet or not?
I never saw it on the transaction list, but I know on his Twitter account, he went out and said free agent.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't know if they had made that official or not.
I didn't see it on any transaction list, but I haven't actually gone and checked their depth chart in a little bit, so I don't know if it's official.
Right, okay. But yeah, it's crazy. It's like the implosion of them defensively so much, literally got a coach fired on the first day, it seems. I have no idea what that plane ride back home was like, but I can tell you that their coach, Coach Moss, I was in the press room with him. He was the second person to come out for the Wildcats to talk to everybody in the press conference room. And it was a pretty chilly night in Houston, and it was pretty chilly in that room. He was sweating bullets. I mean, he was sweating so profusely. He was so miserable. He made a bunch of backhanded comments about I can't believe that we're even having this press conference in this room. Why is it so far away from the locker room and blah, blah. He was just in a crappy mood. But the dude was sweating bullets to the point where somebody gave him a shirt out of their bag that they had only worn for a little bit. There was nobody had a towel or anything like that in the room. So somebody just pulled the shirt out of their bag. They're like, hey, go ahead and use this to wipe your head down, all the sweat off your head, because I barely wore it. It's not that bad. Go ahead and use it. And he just rolled his eyes and he took it and he starts wiping his head down. He's just covered in sweat. I don't know. It was very bizarre. It was really weird. You'd think that they have enough talent on their team to, regardless, no matter what, there's too much talent on that defensive roster, right, to be bad.
I would think that they would be on the next level of – so their defense was ranked 2 or 3, if not 1, on most people's stuff, I absolutely was blown away that they got outscored by 20 points.
Yeah. It they kind of held. I mean, they did well in the first half. It was the second half that the quarterback was frustrated. I know that. I saw him in the tent whenever they thought he was injured for a minute there. Saw him after the game. He was clearly Knauf was clearly irritated. Everybody just seemed irritated, like they're just having an extra bad day. But because their defense just has so much talent on it. And I think Coach Moss is a good coach, at least I thought he was. I would think that they're talented, talented enough to do better than they did. It makes me, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm leaning towards the Roughnecks offense just might be that good.
I'm okay with that answer. I like that. And I just talked to somebody else who covers the Renegades, Anthony Miller, and he gave me some answers that were like, oh, the Renegades are this, the Renegades are that, and I'm okay with biased answers. I'm all right with that. I don't think you're biased on that one. So
I'm so
that one's
sorry.
okay.
You're breaking up right there. I couldn't hear you very well.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. What I was saying was I don't think you need to worry about being biased. I think the Roughnecks were pretty on point this weekend, and I don't think you have to worry about that. So,
good. I got hopes.
So, with the success that the Roughnecks had last week, and PJ Walker was being a stud, obviously, their third down efficiency was still pretty alarming. But that was all across the XFL. Do you think that this is just people not knowing each other very well, or do you think that progressively it's going to get better?
I have to think that progressively it's going to get better. I mean, I know that there's a lot of differences, obviously, between the XFL and the NFL, or even the XFL and college football. But I feel like I know what you're talking about, and I have looked a little bit into that. I feel like that's not going to be consistent just based on what I watch the other leagues are like. I have to believe that this one's going to be somewhat similar. You know what I mean? I think that that's just. I think it's just the hiccups, I guess, of being a new league and a bunch of people who were just thrown together not that long ago, and everybody's just trying to figure everything out. I think that it will get better. I don't expect that to be consistent. Yeah,
I totally agree with you. I get brought up these questions, and so I was just curious your thought process on it. I think so. Just looking at in the AAF, they had people who in the AAF were playing obviously to a pretty high caliber, but not as much as what the XFL has shown us. But we had players in the XFL this weekend that held out to play in the XFL and avoided playing in the AAF. So I think that that's just the significant difference, that we knew the XFL was coming and that it was going to be a higher level of skill. And we're just waiting for these guys to mesh together a little bit more.
Yeah, and you also saw a lot of hiccups happening, I think, throughout the league on special teams. There were so many penalties and drop passes, and there were, what was it? Who was it that almost had the what's his name? King.
Marquette King. Marquette King.
Thank you. Yeah, he's kind of he's like a fun personality guy, but
yeah.
He almost had the perfect punt, and then it gets screwed up, and it's just like, I don't know. I think that, I expect by week 3 maybe, I think most of those hiccups and those kinks are all going to be knocked out. But there's just a lot of stuff. Even people on the broadcast, you heard them going, okay, wait, what's the rule? Is that legal? Wait, is that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Everybody's just trying to figure this out right now.
Yeah, for sure. And it's actually funny that you bring up the broadcast standpoint. I think just because of it all being a new league, just in general, we got to look at just the presentation of the XFL. There was points where, maybe some FCC people should have been called, and we're all just trying to figure out how to, make this one good product instead of having some kind of issues. And I think that can even translate over to the third down efficiencies.
Yeah, but I mean, how cool is it that they're being so transparent with us?
No, it's great.
With the rule changes. Yeah, like with the rule changes initially, they were like, okay, here's the rule change, here's what it is in the NFL, here's what it is in college, and here's why we're changing it. And then now we actually could hear the referees communicating with the people up in the box, like, okay, so what do you have right there? Okay, and what's the ruling? Okay, cool, it's going to be spotted here, and, et cetera. Like, I just think that transparency is so freaking cool.
What did you think about them actually breaking down? So, like, at one point, I heard him being like, hey, this guy's going to do a sluggo, and a sluggo is this. And he actually drew it out on the TV and was like, this is where he's going to go, or where they're like odd numbers are to the left, even numbers are to the right. Do you think that that could pose a problem to offensive, play calling, or do you think it's just more fun for the broadcast?
I wonder that myself, kind of. I wonder what kind of problems this may cause, and like what you're alluding to is like maybe some sort of a team using the broadcast to somehow kind of figure things out what's going on in the field, basically.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're only asking me this because I live in the same city as the Astros, and I appreciate that. I'm just kidding. But I did ask June a little bit about that yesterday. I said, does that bother you at all? And he said, no, I think there's enough of a delay on it that it's not really a problem.
I asked Jim Zorn about it also, and he said the same thing. So I was just curious on what was going on over there in Houston with you guys about that as well.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. There's really one thing about the broadcast that I didn't like as much. Like, I really like it. I'm kind of like a Tony Romo person. I like watching him do, color analysts on the football games for CBS. And I love how he sees like a lineup or he sees something that the defense is doing, and he'll almost like predict a lot of things that happen, right? But they're truly predictions. Whereas a lot of these guys on the TV broadcast, they're straight up telling you like, okay, this means that, this means that. So this is, this is going to be a run play, et cetera. I like it better whenever the broadcasters, whenever it's less easy for them to tell you exactly what's going on, and more of a like, okay, this looks like this, so I'm thinking it's going to be this, but let's find out. That's like the one thing of the, I don't even know if I'm articulating. Does that make sense?
No, I understand what you're saying, but I think the difference is the fact that we have access to what they're calling, whereas if Tony Romo heard what they were saying, so he could see the lineup and he could be like, okay, well, this kind of looks like this because he's studied film for so long, versus where somebody who is very into football play calling can hear words that sound like plays and be like, okay, this is what he's going to do because of this word. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of a difference in there, but I actually absolutely agree with you. I much more enjoy watching him predict what's going to happen. So, and that's what I was asking you at first, what you thought about them drawing out the plays on the field. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I can think of that I prefer about the NFL broadcast to this broadcast. It feels weird to say this, that anything about the NFL would be pure than a lesser sport, I guess, for lack of a better word. But
right.
I feel like that is more innocent than what we're hearing right now by hearing the play called and then them just telling you right then and there what's going to happen. But that's just nitpicking, I guess. Overall, it was a great product.
Right, for sure. So I only have a few more questions for you. I hope I'm not taking up too much of your time. You're still doing all right?
No, I'm having fun.
All right,
yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay, so where do you think the Roughnecks can improve after how successful they were over the victory that they had on the Wildcats?
Yeah, definitely. I think the most obvious thing that the Roughnecks can and need to do is they need to run the ball better, just for the pure sake of making damn sure that you keep a defense honest. Every team wants to run the ball because what does that do? It traditionally, or at least theoretically, it's going to limit your turnovers. You're going to have better ball security, and you're going to own the time of possession. You're going to have the longer you keep the ball out of the other quarterback's hands, the less of a chance they have about scoring you. And also, wherever you can run the ball, it really wears the opposing defense down. You start to see these quicker, putting their hands on their hips, maybe whenever they come off the field, they're quicker to go to the oxygen tank, just running the ball is a good thing. No coach is ever going to tell you it isn't, even June Jones, and a guy that's known for not running the ball. But he told me yesterday, he said, that's our number one priority. We want to run the ball better. If I'm not mistaken, the Roughnecks, I believe, were negative in rush yards in the first half. I could be wrong on that. I'm sure somebody on social media will quickly correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they had negative rush yards in the first half. So they want to clean that up, want to run the ball a little bit longer. I believe the Wildcats they have the time of possession. I mean, they beat the Roughnecks significantly in the time of possession.
Yes, they did.
They face the dilemma that I kind of see with, the Chiefs. Maybe not so much this year because they won it all, but definitely last year, where the Chiefs would score so quick because they didn't run the ball. They would just chunk it down the field, these deep plays with these speedy wide receivers, and they score so quickly that as soon as the defense comes off the field and they think they got a chance to catch their breath, they have to go right back out on the field. And that can be, in a sense, demoralizing for a defense, and it definitely wears them out. You want fresh legs out there. So there's so many benefits to running the ball. He wants to do that. And, he told me, he said, we definitely plan on doing that more.
Yeah, I was surprised that they only racked up a total of 50 yards rushing with 16 attempts. 16 attempts is what they ended up with. But they still ended up outscoring LA 19-0 in the second half. So, I mean, I guess whatever's working for you, keep pouring it on, right?
Yeah. And, a lot of people, like I said, Coach Jones, he is not known for running the ball. But a lot of people forget that he has worked with, I'm not going to say he produced some prolific runners, but he's definitely had an offense that worked with some prolific runners. He had Zach Line at MSU back in the day, and I'm sorry, not MSU, Southern Method, SMU. Back in the day, he had multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons. He had one year where he went for just under 1,500, and then he was an offensive assistant coaching his lifelong mentor, the guy who basically created the run and shoot, Mel Davis, up in Detroit when Barry Sanders was there running for multiple 1,000-yard seasons. So his offense can be conducive to a successful runner. It's just, he wants to try to do that here. It's just, who's going to step up and really kind of make their name the solid number one, like the guy that they lean on whenever they need to run the ball.
Who do you think that their best option to lean on that position would be?
TJ Walker.
Okay.
Honestly, Butler, he had a good game. He only had 30 rushing yards on 9 attempts, which isn't.
Yeah, he had 26 on 4.
Okay, yeah. So, but I know that he had 2 touchdowns. So he found the end zone twice. I don't know. It's weird here, man. It's weird because the running backs here are expected to also be wide receivers. Everybody is going to catch a ball here.
Yeah, it looks like it. So it was very spread around, and Butler ended up getting two reception yards, or 2 receptions for 20 yards, and then that one long for a 16 for that. That was one touchdown that he had for 16 yards, right?
Yeah, he had a 7-yard long run. Let me see. Just pulled up in front of me. Yeah, he had his longest run of the night was 7 yards.
Okay.
Walker had a 13-yard run. He had the longest run out of anybody that ran the ball.
Okay. Yeah, that's wild, man. I don't know. I'm looking at so I'm covering the Dragons, and I'm looking at what one of the reporters out here for our ESPN is calling the Hydra, which is the 3 deep backfield that they have in the running back position. And I'm wondering why they're running the ball or passing the ball so much, where you guys are trying to figure out how to run the ball so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you would think that they would be able, that the Roughnecks could run the ball, right? Because you're thinking, you're throwing the ball so much, everybody's going downfield vertical, 4 wide receiver sets. You think that it's defense, right? They have to move backward. They have to back off a little bit, right?
Right.
And you can't stack the box, right? So that should open up these huge running lanes for people. And it just didn't happen against the Wildcats, but maybe that's a testament to their highly touted linebacking squad. Maybe that was them. Maybe that's where they really showed themselves. I don't know. We'll see. It's so hard to say anything
Off of 1 week.
Anything about any of these teams after 1 week.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah, I like it. So did you actually happen to hear any kind of explanation from Khalil Lewis on what happened on his trending video?
Yeah, I did actually. He's a really, really cool guy, and I've become really good friends with a guy named Sammy Coates on the team, and he was just giving him hell that night that it happened. But what he told me, and what I guess he's telling other people, whether this is true or not, that on the previous play, whenever he was on the sideline, just a few minutes before he got out there and lined up and threw up, he had chugged a bunch of Gatorade, I guess, and then a big play happened, and he was jumping up and down right after he chugged a bunch of Gatorade, and then he had to run out to the line of scrimmage, line up, and from jumping up and down and running after chugging all the Gatorade, he said it just came back up.
Okay. Yeah, that's a funny story. I can't believe that was like a big old thing. So, I mean, I put out a video of a bunch of compilations of crazy things that had happened in the XFL. And you got guys in New York eating cheese, and then this guy in Houston puking on the line of scrimmage. It was just crazy. I can't believe that this was week 1 where we got to look at these crazy wild things, and that just little bit of I just chugged a bunch of Gatorade is the response of why that was why that happened.
Yeah, I know, it is funny. It's like, okay, do you believe him or not? Not so sure, but this is the XFL, man. I love it.
It's good stuff. So I don't know if you watched the rest of the league. Did you watch any of the other games?
I did. So I got to watch, I want to say, like maybe the first half of the Seattle and Defenders game. And then, obviously, I've watched our game a million times. I have watched the Battlehawks Renegades game. It was kind of like a, what do you call it, whenever you condensed, what's the word? I don't know why I couldn't think of that. A condensed version of it. I plan on watching another version of it because I have to write a preview article on it.
Okay.
But other than that, what other games did I watch? There was one more that I watched. Oh, I watched Tampa's game.
Okay, so Tampa and New York.
Not very exciting. Yeah. I thought Aaron Murray was going to be.
So you ended up catching a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I'm going to get more into it this weekend. Watch those games a little bit more. But yeah, I kind of just caught most of y'all's game, a little bit of the Tampa game, and all of the Renegades Battlehawks game. Okay, so where do you feel that the Roughnecks match up to all of the rest of the 1-0 teams? Man, I have to. I'm going to say, and I've only seen the highlights of this game. I haven't watched the full thing. But I know that the Guardians played really well and that they looked pretty stout. I guess just a highly uneducated guess here, I would have to say them. And I know that a lot of people are saying that, that those are, I think, the power rankings, right? That's the East and the West, the number 1, the East, number 1, the West. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. But the Defenders obviously played well too. Yeah, so I'm thinking New York even was looking pretty good as well. But my question was, is do you think that the Battlehawks
going in as underdogs should be ranked a little bit higher.
Yeah, they're an 8-point dog, and like what undefeated team goes into a game with an 8-point dog, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're an 8-point dog, and you know, I just think a lot of people saw that game and that what's his name, Philip Nelson, and just kind of dink and dunk, you know, all over the field, like little short 4 or 5 yard passes all over the field, and I think that people expected the Battlehawks with how poorly the Renegades offense played for the Battlehawks to, you know, maybe put up more than 15 points.
Right, and that's kind of what I was getting at is we were talking about the third down efficiency earlier, and the reason why I brought it up is because St. Louis was the only team to hit 50%. So maybe some people are sleeping on St. Louis.
Yeah, I mean, they could be. It's definitely, you know, we're just talking about how the Roughnecks need to run the ball better. That appears to be, at least on paper, a very well-rounded team. They ran the ball well, and Jordan Tomu, like, he had a 74% completion rating. He was averaging 7.7 yards per attempt. Those are the stats I just gave you, 74% completion rating and 7.7 yards per attempt. Those are both higher than PJ Walker's stats.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, again, it's so hard to tell after week one, but I know that a lot of people, you know, whenever you hold a team to just 3 field goals, you kind of expect it to, everything was in favor, it seems like, for that to be a blowout game, and it just wasn't the blowout that I think people wanted it to be.
Right.
But 8 points is a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's I mean, 8 points is a lot in regular football, but the XFL, that's less than one possession. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm still flabbergasted that actually happened, and I absolutely love these rule changes where we have more points, because when you bring up 9 points being, you know, a lot, it is a lot, or 8 points being a lot, but it is a lot, but there's still a one possession between the 8 and the 9, and I absolutely love that. So I got one more question for you, and then I'll let you go. It's been an hour, and man, the time flew by. I absolutely loved talking to you. Yeah, I don't know if you caught on to that. But
I had no clue.
Did you catch up with Nick Hawley at all and hear a story about his 3 torn ACLs?
No, but so I know that he had 3 torn ACLs. He broke his back at one point too. I know that his story is insane, and I'm actually going to be interviewing him next week for the TV show that I do. We're going to do a sit-down interview, and it'll probably be about 15 minutes long or so. We'll probably just use maybe 5 minutes of it for the TV show. But I'm really, really looking forward to that. But I haven't been able to really talk to him one-on-one or anything like that. But I'm looking forward to it because I know that his story is going to be amazing.
I would love for you to send me whatever you get, and I'll definitely share that out and obviously give you the credit for it. Send some of that information over, because his story was very eye-opening to me, and I'm actually a little disappointed that you hadn't gotten a little information on him. But yeah, his story sounds crazy, and I want to hear more. So when you do get it out, let me know, and I'll share that, because his story sounds really, really crazy.
I absolutely will, and I'll just because you mentioned that, I'm going to be at their practice tomorrow. I will definitely try to get my hands on him and talk to him a little bit, and I'll definitely let you know what he says, and if I can get any audio, I'll definitely send you that as well.
Fantastic. That's awesome. So, Rachel, I can't believe we've been talking for almost an hour already. That went by so quick. That was really fun. That was really fun. And I know that you're covering sports in Houston, so can I maybe get what your thoughts on what happened in the Astros statements today?
Yeah. You know, it's weird. This is such a slippery slope, and I know that there's a lot of really, really angry people, and I feel like I've been up and down on a roller coaster of emotions with this whole entire thing. And it's evolved here, at least locally. I don't know how it is nationally, but locally it's kind of become the blame game. AJ Hinch came out and he had his little sit-down interview, and he kind of, to me, in my opinion, everybody's like, oh, AJ Hinch, he looks like a saint now. He's definitely going to get to play, to be a manager again in the league. There's a place for him in this league after he sits out his suspension. But, Jeff Luhnow, he's just the worst. This is basically Satan reincarnate. You know what I mean? Like, what a horrible person. He's avoided the media. The one statement he did give, he didn't apologize. In fact, he just played dumb. And everybody is just, AJ Hinch has somehow become a saint in all this, and it's just poor AJ Hinch. He wasn't confident enough to say anything. He hasn't won a World Series yet, so he wasn't confident yet enough to stop all of this. But to me, and then now they're starting to blame, it's Beltran, and it's Alex's Core's fault. It's an intern's fault. It's become the blame game here, and it's really getting old. And I guess I just don't understand what people want from them. Like, I'm sure everybody would love for them to come across as sincere and remorseful, and like we love a story like that, right? Like, you mess up in sports and then you have your redemption, and it's a great movie and everything. But I don't know if that's just the way that this is. I don't think that's going to be whatever happens here. And I don't really understand what people's expectations were here today. Everybody's upset that they were not sincere enough. They didn't talk long enough from the podium. They seem arrogant, cocky. It's like, these dudes, there's no punishment for them, right? They were given complete immunity from the situation. So with that being said, it's human nature. Humans just aren't really usually sorry for things unless they deal with personal repercussions from something. And I just don't really know what people wanted today. Did they want them to get on stage and cry? Like, did they want them to get on their knees and beg for forgiveness? Like, I don't know. I'm just ready for baseball to start.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. Me personally, I'm not too – so obviously I'm from Seattle, and the Mariners and you're a Houston Astros reporter, so the Mariners are not a very good team. So me personally, I like watching the Mariners. I like watching baseball, but I don't want to see this team who won the World Series come out and basically be like, yeah, you caught me, but so what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that it's just going to be like that unless their World Series got taken away or unless the players had some sort of repercussion.
Yeah, I think the players need some repercussion.
Yeah, they do. But Manfred can he? I don't think he can go back on his word in his contract to them that they have immunity. Yeah,
I don't think so. I think we're basically looking at a sweep it under the rug type of a situation, and I think that's why the rest of the nation is as upset as they are.
Right.
And when like Bregman comes out and he's basically reading off of a cue card, and it's like, dude, is that? And can you be any less not sincere? Like, do you really care about this?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Because even some presidents, right, whenever they give speeches and stuff, they glance up and they kind of look at you and they try to sell it to you, even if they have to look down at their notes or whatever. Like, yeah, there's the cockiness and an arrogance with this team that, and then for them to come out and say that it didn't affect the game, it's like, okay, then why did you do it? Like, why did you do it if it wasn't benefiting you or changing the outcome of games?
Right.
And if it didn't change the outcome of games, then what the hell are you apologizing for? Like,
right.
2 + 2 is not equaling 4 here. You know what I mean? Like, it's all BS, and I've just come to an acceptance in myself that this is all we're gonna get. And I am somebody that roots for the Astros, but like, I was pissed off whenever I found this out, and it sucks that the one championship that I remember getting here in Houston for anything that mattered anything, the Rockets, they had 2, but there's an asterisk besides that, right? Everybody always says, well, if Michael Jordan hadn't been retired this 2 years, the Rockets wouldn't have won. So this is like the one championship that Houston had that was not tinted and didn't have an asterisk beside it. And now it does. And it's gross, you know what I mean? But I guess I've just, there's this, what do they call it, the stages of grief. I'm at the point of acceptance and ready to move on.
Okay. All right. I like that. Okay. I appreciate you giving me your opinion on that. Actually, it's relieving to know that people in Houston, and I'm not dogging on you when I say this, but people in Houston aren't like, hey, we won the World Series, get over it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's good to know that other people who are involved in the fan base are feeling the same kind of frustration that we in the rest of the MLB nation are feeling, and that's good. So man, like I said just a little bit ago, we literally just hit the 1 hour mark. So why don't you tell me and anybody else who is watching this again one more time where we can find all of your work, where you do your social media, where we can listen to any of your work. That way they can check it out, and then that way I can go and find what you find out about Nick.
Yeah, for sure. So the best centralized location to find everything that I do is going to be Twitter, because like I said, I post all my thoughts and all of my work, and just about everything that I do, I post it on there, whether it's a link or a native video or whatever it is, an article. My handle is at Game Day OJ. It's Game Day OJ. And like I said, I write articles for sportsmap.com. I am on the radio every weekend from 8 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 97.5 Houston, and you can catch that on the ESPN app, or you can live stream it on Twitch. And then I do a local TV show here in Houston, and that's on NBC. But yeah, just follow me on Twitter and at Game Day OJ, and you can see all of it.
Your radio show gets hosted on Twitch?
Yeah, they have cameras set up, and they basically have turned the studio into kind of like it's staged, basically. And they have like 2 or 3 cameras in there, and so every single show that anyone does in there, it goes live over Twitch.
So we can just find we can just
really
find that on
ES.
We can just look up on Twitch ESPN 7950 Houston.
Yeah, 97.5.
97.5. Okay. Awesome. Okay, cool. So, wow. I had a lot of fun talking to you. I got to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting us to hit an hour, and that was fantastic. I totally lost track of time. I'm sorry I took so much of yours. I hope that we can do this again later in the season. That would be fantastic. Maybe we can look a couple weeks down and do that again. Seriously, thank you. And I don't think I got really anything else to say. I'm absolutely grateful for that conversation.
No, I had a blast, because my passion's what I love to do, and you're easy to talk to. So anytime you let me know, and I got it. And we definitely got to get back together whenever our 2 teams face off against each other.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know when they do. I'd have to look at the schedule, but when Houston and Seattle meet up, let's talk.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. You have a good night. Thank you again so much for your time. Rachael, everybody. Rachael Oranje, right?
Hey, that's really good. Yeah, it's Oranje.
Oranje.
Very
Okay.
Dutch. But everybody just says Rachael Van Orange. I'm used to it. I accept it. That's hence the OJ nickname. Like I roll with it.
Okay, so is Oranje?
Oranje, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Good job.
Cool. Perfect. All right. So go, guys, please check out Rachael, all of her work, and I'll talk to you later, Rachael.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Wow, that was fantastic. Really, really awesome to get other teams as insiders to talk to me and maybe get a little bit more perspective around the league. And that was really awesome. Again, if you guys are watching me right now, I got the background up just so that I can do some editing later and drop some graphics behind me. Now Talk Interference Sports will be doing the live, And then Game Changer Sports Network will have all of the edited backdrops and all of the videos and everything just popping up in the corners over here. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, Talk Interference Sports. If you guys are watching me on Talk Interference Sports, go look at Game Changer Sports Network. That's where all of my other videos are going to get uploaded that get edited. And then if you guys are going to a sporting event or shoot, even a concert, and you're going to My Chemical Romance and Rage Against the Machine just came out with some concert tours, and you guys are going to go check them out, use SeatGeek.com, SeatGeek.com. Man, that was a mouthful. SeatGeek.com, use promo code GCSN and get $20 off your purchase. Thank you guys for watching. I seriously really appreciate it. I'm going to pop off of here, and watch out for my later videos that are going to come out tomorrow night about my recap of the Seattle Dragons' matchup against the Vipers, how they did during practices, and basically all sports that happened within this week. Check out my rant against the Houston Astros. You guys are going to love it. I promise. Check it out, guys. Talk Interference Sports. See you later.